toiletries who have been provided for. Westerners is a lip service. Because we study the budget, those things are not in the development frameworks. Thank you.
And now, but what they have budgeted is 50 billion, I think.
50 billion,
5 minutes to the top of the hour. We shall be breaking for our English news journal that will run for 30 minutes. And then after that, we resume and continue with the team up to 10 p.m. But as we prepare to a break off, Honorable, as we talk, third term is nearing completion. And we have, of course, learners P7 just completed the examination. We have the senior 4s, majority I think have completed, senior 6 are ongoing. Teachers have been out, particularly arts teachers in secondary schools and the primary teachers, citing income disparity between them and those in the science sector. What would you say about this in regards to the general development of the education sector?
I think our manifesto, if you read, is very clear. A teacher is a teacher. Let me give an example. Recently, when our teachers went on strike, the government schools were closed, while private schools were studying. Are you getting me? Now, when the UNEP brought the exams, everybody did. Eh? Now, those of us who were at home, who were in private government schools, will they pass? No. That's why when you are looking for results of the northern Uganda, eastern Uganda, you don't look from up. You start from where? Down here. Maraki is down here, Wasiroka is down here, Terega is down here. Not up there. Because for us, we must protect our gains from down. That's what they want. But I want to ask a question, which I will answer myself. A math teacher teaches math in which language? English. No, it's good.
Language also.
Yeah, yes, math, but the math language is in English.
Yes.
So now, an English teacher means is the one who taught the math teacher to teach math in what? English. Why should it be that the English teacher is paid little money, yet he is the one who taught the one of math, and the one who he taught is paid more money? That's very unfair. A teacher is a what? A teacher. That's why for us we're saying all teachers will be paid equal money, but better. By day better.
Okay.
A living wage, where you can be able to pay accommodation, you can pay medical bills, even medical bills we're going to take, I will take them there also. But also to be able to feed your family with dignity. In fact, the people who are suffering most are teachers. I am a professional teacher. You cannot do a scheme of work, mark a paper, when your head is what? Is not okay. Because these teachers, their cards, ATM cards and identity cards are with money, what? Money lenders.
Okay.
So now when you pay a teacher well, accommodate him or her, will say his children will study for free from primary up to university. But at the same time, our children at school, because they drop out, I've told you, every 10, 8 drop out. So it's only 2 week P7. Then, to avoid those dropouts, a child will eat food, and this food will be supplied by our mothers who are in these markets.
Okay.
The youth who are there in the transport. Because we see the youth, those border, which is employs over 2 million, we're going to give them borders for 2 million shillings. And they will pay it over a period of what? 5 years. To avoid these people have been cheating them, where they pay 8 to 10 million at the end of the day.
So for the education, a primary teacher would earn how much? No, a secondary teacher how much? When you are the president? You
see, a good salary for a teacher in anywhere you have done should be not less than between 2 to 3 million.
Okay.
In fact, in modern countries, a primary teacher is paid more money than a secondary teacher.
Okay.
Because a primary teacher is dealing with raw material, which he processes so that the other one picks it better. So if 4 million is better, and there's the money, because they are stealing it. And I've told you that we have a lot of money, and the moment you have an educated society, you are really better off. And by the way, if you are not aware, this country, if it was very serious, the moment you have educated a person who lives formally with them, they would not be cheated by money lenders. You would first compute, why am I going to borrow this money? Then he said, this is going to cheat me, I'm not going. But because they cannot do computation, because of no education, he jumps in and he gets into a problem.
Okay.
These are the things we're saying must reform. So our teachers will be dealt well. That applies even to health people. Because health, we're saying, we're going to equip...
We are going to get back on health, that is after the news journal in there. But just to conclude with the one of education, how about other, leverages? We have things like the UPE, the USE, and then we have things like district water. What is your comment on those? And when you, in case elected, what would you do different from what we have currently?
You see, even the district quota, UP is a good program which must be really supplemented by having the teachers well paid, having our children eating food. This was a program from World Bank. By the way, it's not when I hear Muslim saying it is this program. No, it is in all of the whole world, with the third world countries. But what it means is that the teachers should be well paid and well looked after. And then the learners should also be facilitated. So when you talk about USA and whatever, these are programs which must be done so well. Now for us, what we're aiming at is that nobody should leave school without getting a real profession. Either you have an idea on carpenter or whatever. Okay. Now when you come and say, what about, what was the other one which I wanted to make, which is jumping out of my head.
District quota.
Yeah, quotas. Now, so how do you choose a district quota? That's where you go wrong. Let me tell you, there should be no district quota. There should be that we have in this basket this amount of what? Money. Are you getting me? Now, this amount of money is the one we apply to our children who are going to what? School. So supposing it is going to the university. You say we have, say, 100 billion. How many boys are going and the girls? They are this amount. Divide among them, and they are all given equal money. Okay. Do you know what happens? What happens in this place?
We are breaking for our news journal.
Okay.
We shall be getting back on our board. Ocheda Robert is my name. I do have the FDC presidential candidate, that is Honorable Nathan Nandalama Fabi, and he's talking about the manifesto of the FDC. When we get back after the news journal, we shall be opening the call lines, and definitely for your concerns, you will be in a position to present them, and they will be responded to accordingly. We've also been joined by the woman MP candidate for Maracha, that is on FDC ticket, that is Marcia Lizzie. For now, we break off.
It's 9 p.m.
You have an appointment, but you need to deal with this. You are the process of the thing. Can you push it for another 30 minutes?
We can do it.
Yeah, of course.
But another thing you will have to do
First, put that is not. Sorry?
and the graduate tax before to scrap
No,
and other things you will deliver.
First, switch on.
And then also the issue he raised about how the
Good
nurses
evening, dear
can
listener.
follow.
Thank you for tuning to the News Journal on Radio Pacis. Topping this edition, Interreligious Council in Aringa Kingdom intervened in resolving Yumbe
21 minutes past the hour of 9 p.m. This is Radio Pacis, 94.5 FM. Peace of Christ for all. Otera Robatiza, my name we do have a talk show hosting the presidential candidate for Forum for Development, Forum for Democratic Change, that is Honorable Nandala Mafabi, who is already in the building. In the first hour, he deliberated on a number of issues, and once again, we are back on board. We shall be running up to 10 p.m. But earlier on, the coordinator, Northern Uganda, that's Cap Fungaro, had told us, due to unavoidable circumstances, there are team members who could not make it as at that time, but he has now come along with them. They have joined us.
Yes.
Let's have them on board briefly before we get the president back.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear listeners. As I indeed informed you, some of our key members on the ground, they are also candidates, were on the way. They have now made it here. We would like equally to give them the time to introduce themselves, and then we'll come back to our presidential candidate, His Excellency Nathan Nandala Mafabi. I'm Honorable Fungaro Kapsa, Deputy President of DC Northern Uganda. It's up on you.
Okay, let's start with woman MP candidate for Maracha.
Good evening, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to Radio Pacis. We are so honored to be here this evening. I'm called Marcia Liz Lillian, the woman candidate for Maracha District on Forum for Democratic Change tickets. And we are so delighted that today we are speaking to our people of West Nile, and we are aware that the issues we are speaking out are very pertinent, and it is time for us, people of West Nile, to embrace change, because the 40 years has not benefited us. We are in studio with someone who is ready to fix the economic problems of Uganda, and that is the most critical issue that is affecting us, biting us every day and night, and that is poverty. And there is a presidential candidate who is ready to fix the economy, and that is none other than Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi. He is someone who is an expert who can handle the issues. West Nile, I want to tell us that this time round, let us say no to deception. Let us embrace change, and we are going to see the West Nile that we had, that had leadership, that we are holding government accountable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That is Honorable Marcia Lizzie, who was also the host of the presidential candidate in Maracha.
Yes.
I hope I'm right.
Yes.
Okay, yes, Big Man, you are most welcome to Radio Pacis.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mauripi afe olfemidangiri, ma room zaidi kamisi, ma former LC3 chairman Olieri, ma mayor Arua City Central Division, AC Okbanumbe Mutse heart of the city center, ma Agundrabani Ruta, address candidate in parliament Arua Central Division 3, ma Imira Amarwa President Madrid Adja Lomine Olidia amanga zetu pasi rale Madrid Ambu President Berengadre Arua Primaria amangero Roma ominigiri kanife todoso puti mana motorle ma timanipie and city deco arenga radusina for.
Our reform boy speaks with a lot of passion, and I saw the president, nodding to each and every point he was making. For starters, Honorable is actually our own right here. So shortly before we actually have the translation of the communication from the president in the local languages, we are potentially going to have Lugbarati translation, and also can we have Maditi?
No, Lugbarati is enough.
Okay, and without wasting a lot of time, earlier on, you had commented on a number of issues in there, but let's get back to you as you conclude before we can go for the translations.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to run a manifesto is on the website, but we're going to give you a hard copy. There are things which are quicker where I want to run through. We have talked about health, and the health was saying all referral hospitals will be turned into national hospitals, and health center 4 will become referral hospitals, well equipped, with equipment, with medicine, and with health workers well paid. I want to state here that nowhere is it written that good equipment can't be in Uganda. There is not going to be any medical tourism. The medical equipment which is in India, which is in South Africa, which is in the UK, wherever, they will be brought here for people of Uganda to be treated here. Then we have issue of leadership and governance. We are saying corruption, we're going to fight it without fear and favor, and we're going to eliminate it by the seriously. Then the debt, which we are talking about, Uganda debt is now over 150. They are telling you 126, 130. No, nobody knows, but it is over 150 trillion. That means every Uganda, as we speak now, whether if you are born, you have a debt of over 3 million shillings.
Oh no, corruption, Honorable, are you going to arrest those caught culpable? What are you going to do specifically?
You see, corruption is very easy. You have seen even what they told you, there's internal Auditor General's IGG report. There is also Auditor General's report. These are going to be implemented accordingly immediately. You see, the corruption is very known. Let me give an example. A road is being done, it's supposed to take 20 years. In 2 years, the road is what? Or 1 year, the road is spoiled. The person who was supposed the contract should come and answer. Why should he not run for scot-free? Okay. And if you don't make it good, you go and understand from where, and there will be confiscation of property, which is allowed. Okay. Yeah. So that you cannot say you're talking about terrorism money while you're not talking about stealing of public money here. Okay. So the corruption, we're going to handle it as the Auditor General and the Internal Auditor General reports are concerned. The debt burden, yes, recently even the government went and borrowed 8.3 trillion for infrastructure in a commercial bank. These are going to stop. We're not going to deal with government. That means Uganda is about to collapse bankrupt. And you remember Uganda one time was beyond Singapore. Now Singapore is the first one, was still buying. I want to assure you that these commercial bank loans are not going to be tolerated. We're going to restructure all these debts in a short time of 2 years. You see the man of Burkina Faso, the man came in just 2 years, he has paid all the debts and the country is free. This one are going to be done. And we have a lot of money in the country which will deal with the debt so that we reduce debt burden from Uganda. Our priority is we want Ugandans to enjoy their lives. And of course, whatever we're talking about is to aim that people should have money in their pockets. Our tax base is going to be widened in the sense that because we're going to create jobs, all the youth will have jobs, mothers will have money to make because small businesses are going to be given capital so that they go and invest in their capital. Businesses go up without being taxed. The tax exemptions will be given more to Ugandans than foreigners so that Ugandans will tax, the invest incentives should be given more to the locals. Because when the locals make money, it stays here. But the foreigners take it. When they are talking about the economic growth in this country, it's for foreigners, not for Ugandans. So that now the tax base will be widened, we'll have more, people will pay very little tax. We're going to reduce the tax rates. You remember graduate tax, when you said we have scrapped the graduate tax, we would scrap it when? When we talk about going to reduce tax, we mean it because I'm a tax expert. We are going to increase the tax base and then whatever, instead of paying 30%, people will pay between 5 to 10%, so that they have more money. Now, for example, instead of buying half a kilo of sugar, you buy a kilo or two. Now, when you buy 2 kilos, you're paying more little tax, but many people will be consuming, and the welfare of their people, the people will go high. That means the increase the tax, we shall reduce our debts within 2 years, they should be paid off, and our people will be paid, even civil servants. We're talking about teachers, but civil servants will be paid very well. We are going to remove this issue of civil servants waiting for a quarterly release. They must not be, they will be there to work, and they will have what we call time sheet to say what time did you enter, what did you do in a day. If you're an agriculture officer, you must be an agriculture officer. If you're a health officer, you must be a health officer. You must do your work. So that one, we want to pay them the civil servants well, and they will be there at the time to see what they have done so that you get value for money. And we're going to do value for money, everything, whether construction and what. Now this construction, these projects, contracts will be given more to locals, the youth. For us to be able to create employment in the youth, they will be given. Now, supposing we are doing a road, you say the youth, you are the one to bring stones, you are going to bring the sand, you are going to bring the water and whatever. They will do it, and they will be earning money. They will form their circles, their cooperative societies. I want to remove groups. I want to remove groups which are cheating our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters.
What kind of groups are those?
You have seen on Sundays people have a group sitting, trying to mobilize the money among them is 5,000 to go and pay the money lenders to do what? No, that one's not going to be there. You are going to go to the bank, commercial It's a cooperative bank, agriculture bank, get your money at no interest, and you'll be there to get money.
Some of those will say they are also, key players in the private sector.
No, the private sector is...
Aren't you going to be hard on them?
No. The groups I'm talking are those groups which are... let me give an example. A cooperative society is a group. That's allowed by whatever. Why don't you make your cooperative society of us who are going... And you can only save when you have excess. If you don't have excess, do you save? But also you can get credit from those cooperative societies. I'm not going to allow you to go and get credit from a micro, from a money lender. Because this is where the money is going. We're going to bring cooperatives so that...
But the fear or the worry that the local person would have is that when I go to the bank, it is also a very, very hectic process to borrow money, and that's how they end up with the money.
Cooperative societies are going to work because everybody knows himself. The tomato cooperators, the whatever will be there. Okay. And then there will be the main one, which is the union. And these are going to be monitored by government to ensure that they have to assist these raw ones to move up. Are you getting it? So this one, nobody will go to a money lender anymore, which is killing our people. Now, also when we talk about salaries, they will be, what have been fought, and August is here, minimum wage. Our girls and house girls, some are cutting sugar cane, they are cheated, and there's going to be a minimum wage.
Of how much?
You see, a minimum wage must be able to take care. I've gone to work in Kakira Sugar Works. I must have money to pay rent. I must have money to eat food. I must have money to transport myself. I must have money to really
rest,
and I must have rest days. I'm not a criminal that I should work 30 days so that I'm able to live, even when I should have breaks and whatever. So these are going to work out. So these are going to be computed with experts. Know what's the minimum wage, and we'll compute and say this year this is the minimum wage, and the people will get jobs. And if you don't accept the minimum wage, you will have repercussions to be dealt with as an employee. I run businesses. My businesses, I compute my wages for my staff, and they must have minimum wage. If you ask anyone, you say no. What we get is able to pay my rent, is able to transport me, is able to buy food, and if I feel sick, the company pays medical attention. So we're going to now, like that one on governments who have told you justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. We're going to make sure that justice dispenses, not political justice. And we're going to make sure that the term limits are brought back. We removed them. The age limit is brought back because at 70, yes, you're a human being, but sometimes your capacity is not like a person who is 60, who is in 50s, so that a president should have what? Age limits. And the legislation should be real registration. And we are going to say the Ungozi will be in parliament. You see like people like Ungozi when he is debating. I like him. He talks for people of Uganda. And now why West Nile you are having a problem is that you have only one opposition MP. You have removed the Fungaro, you have removed the other. So I want you to this time to embrace the opposition. And that's why I feel hard when some women, they are telling women that when you vote, don't vote Museveni, there will be war. Is Museveni at the front to fight? We have UPDF, is a Uganda People's Defense Force. Unless somebody is saying it's not our force. We have Uganda Police Force. It's not Museveni force, it's not Ankole force. It is Uganda Police Force. You have Uganda prison. So Mama, my daddies, don't worry, there will be no war. Uganda is now at peace. We have solved that one. Now the problem with the war you have is the insecurity in the pocket. That's why we say we want to fix this economy, and you have money in the pocket. We want men to become men and not to be running out from their homes so that they can stay with their families. That's what I want to assure you. And even now, the people who intimidate people in the election, the person responsible for election is the Electoral Commission. Nobody should allow either a police or RDC or a DSO to be intimidated. If you have an issue of committed as an offense of election, you note it and send it to Electoral Commission. But you have no right to intimidate anybody. And these are things you should report. That's why some of the DPCs are losing jobs. Some of the, yes, you have seen there are some of the other diseases. You tell us they will be dealt with. They are not above the what? Above the law. Government scholarships, compensation, we have put a plan now to compensate everybody. And very well, I can tell you, we are the only one who have a plan to compensate ex-combatants. People have suffered from the war and whatever. That's why we have that period to deal with the youth, women, and the widows. You know the widows, they suffer. The orphanage, the plan, because those are people also in the society which should live their life which is of dignity. I want to make sure Ugandans don't stop being what? Beggars. They should be real people. This is their country. Nobody applied to God to be born here. The youth will have jobs. so that our youth will stop going to play cards. You know, when you see them playing cards and taking, they are trying to pass time because they have no jobs and whatever will deal with that. These people's PWs, they will be held, also be dealt with. They will have their training school, they will have where to work, they will also be given government contracts, so that they're able to, they are not disabled that they cannot work, they have capacity to work. They have even some can use their heads, can use their hands, can use their legs, they are possible to do it. We are talking about the hereditary pension and veterans, which I've mentioned. Now even our hereditary, somebody who is 65 years plus will be paid a pension of 60,000 per month until you go and meet your creator. The religious leaders, we have a problem with religious leaders at the mass of the, when they give a pickup to the imam, is it the district card, that's all. When they give a bishop or a pajero, that's all. No, we need a budget in the government. If you can give $230 million shillings, that is over, which I can give you over 800 billion to one person to compensate. Okay. But if you try to give this money to the religion, we have to have a budget for religious leaders so that they don't oppress their followers. You know, some people have run out from churches, from mosques, because they say we're building a mosque. People say that every Friday they are demanding, he runs away. Churches want people to go to churches, to go to the mosques and pray to God, not to run out, but government will make a budget to deal with this. Then to deal with the other one which we have dealt with is to deal with the issue of cooperatives. We have mentioned it. I come with experience of this cooperative union. Right now, it kills 18,000. Okay. Because if they were not there, they will not get that 18,000 if the just cooperative union is there. So what I'm saying, we have capacity. That's why everybody wanted me to be the chairman of Uganda Cooperative Alliance. I said no. For now, I want to be the president of Uganda so that I'm able to deal with this problem. Thank you. The victims of Konye, whatever they cause, this will be handled. So we come here with a master plan to see that this country is for everybody. We are tired of being beggars in our country. Some of you very much. Yeah, just 1 minute. I've told you that I've been involved in many countries to deal with. I was involved in restructuring so many central banks, including the Bank of England, Kuwait. I have been involved in the governments giving advice. We have given advice where countries have agreed with me. They have moved, like Tanzania, Kenya, India, Ghana, among others. So it shows that I come with experience in the economy, in taxation. You are aware I'm one of the best tax experts in the whole world. I'm one of the best financial managers in the whole world. So I come with this knowledge that I want to provide to people of Uganda. And I will do it for you because I want to be your servant. I'm not going to be a boss. To work for you and you see a change. That's why we're saying you lend us a vote for 5 years. The intimidation, why they're lying you, that there will be war, no. The war you have already is very bad, the one of the poverty in the houses. I come with knowledge to deal with poverty in homes.
Thank you. Thank
now,
you.
Finally, on this note, just one small note. And everybody, you see, that's why we're saying, we want to fix the economy and have money in your pockets. Now, if we have money in the pocket, many things will be okay. Nobody can go to dance. Listen to me. Nobody can go to dance when he has no food in the stomach. So you need food before you go and dance. So we need to tell you, we come with a master plan, and I will request you to read our manifesto, which will give you hard copies, and the soft copy is there for you to look at.
Okay, dear listener, 0788956494. That is the SMS line. In case of any concerns, you are free to share it, and definitely the presidential aspirant on a FDC ticket, Honorable Nathan Narila Mafabi, will be responding to you accordingly. But before we go in for that session, let me first get back to, of course, Honorable Ali to have a very quick translation, a summary of what, of course, the presidential aspirant has been deliberating on in Lugbarati. Then we get back on board.
Atamba Mafabi Nizeri Male Nyamini Veni Diamond where one Lubertisi. Your working Baru and Iba Westnalani Ini or Chokamari Kichi. Ye mu Assissilende, ye let me in your warrior. Can you wonder that as Museven and Mum 7 can handle a younger and there? Ye Rai Mudile send the bar, jebe media mi fu eliyo se anve Museveni ni bakinje eliyo kursi Museveni ji yondo baru ni data emiogaka baru ni data ndikwaka baru ni ojata trado ba wiki eliyo ya sadisiri PDM ba min sende fe Pacis million toralo hydro titari ya siling million toralo de lata mamu village alo village kadri medu modri iminga siling su billion alo yini na siling de minga azinga kili aga fazi balu ba madi lele da ba yondonduru maru oja tedera fara koke ba maza koreko yi suvino tita sadisiri ya gamete botita ba zin madi kilo eliyo bari kadi cha eliyo bo badi ba gamete ya sende ogubade iji ide mu marife bari ni e ka dia chichu yas akusele ba zi fo kedo dia ikini banu marife te mari ya jeruto e kata mari du no selengal futuro alani mi musumi of selengal futuro alo kalena te biasara mini chonga Uganda dia erenga mino rodi leriji mba alo dingoy ike fibo yile mu sende fe ba biasara adini manga zingani manga zoani manga njofeani lonyi la kadi tubo erenga ba woro mazako otita idria ibe yode yichi yicho yode ke yera skoni iba zinga pe lonyi beri denga poli yichande mpiruko yanda zinga amuti amade sende trape banonve urebe yinga da yitukare yicha pari banonve commissioner ya yimu na zida areko bangi wudu kurudi banonve World Bank rimu yidu ezia yinga zida iko suru tremaza bande yoini nzare ribara dike yodu ya dileba ikamu Kenya pia London pia si Tanzania pia si suru ambia mbede ki iko imaza liyo ruki ofuzo liyo maliasi yo ino ni trade yele teji nyaku amado madria azi ngazo vino obi maza kozo yo Europe Uganda dia ochokochokoruki inichi askoni Mbappe ini mbaba mauchi yevene ba keshi lipirindi yila yode ki yinga vina zidiki yevene ba musoro me yo nipi Uganda dia namba alori suru amaria musoro ambamba ale era skuno ogufi angere ogufi piri amutia ijiji peleka nkodi trajendo de isuki keni silinge na avi Uganda ele alalsi trilioni mudri iba ido titari ya askoni bakizi keni yimusilinge yini yoyi fa village alalsi million toro alalisungwa idu di village ki Uganda elfu kalezir diniri village elfu kalezir ni iride ka yini silinge fa million toro alalo silinge de ka yo palero echake ne silinge ji trilioni azir turtau silinge na ngavin trilioni iri achani tauchi bani chuayo eyo azir ni eyo ini nzari ade yo ole yareko de yo ini azini ngabo ini chi echota ba Uganda adema azako rari yi ba wesina ade ile lo mini iminda tabezo iminda pamba pia orudi atawa pedra ke worote tabe merde dragberi gamete ko yor maza pari zer le mi chizu chu am very true adu de niko mina mitabezo mi chon taba ujiku ike fibo yingamu na kino ordi doke zoru kilo gogo yevini ba chu wood kurdi ni pirari yebi kawa bugishu erozi yinanda efezo skawa majelo elfu tautoko san skawa kilo alo yozi wood kurdi selingi elfu modri ni aro yike fibo yinga fadi machukinda nezukini ba amadi suki lonyira amadi Uganda ya sar ba de pamba pezo bari ke sikiberi bongo amarua warwara amadi sudere pamba amadi dia silu monsali ere pamba ezoni azini ba mabusuru deke pamba ezoni te barika ya far machu yo badiki ngene rudia sile afare ezwale chekeni yo bador dalechi amadi angwaria ola nizomuke ti ola de baniri bazu meji silinga angiri erewawa kini afazo ola ma da agarwati bombe stach ola ma su ezida baka njiba jiuzi amverele ajeni dola turna kaliaru sende dini ike su katola ye kalwani micha sende to badaka chuti te yo Europe amarga bale bazu ma de afatro kubani diniche wakoko ben ba ligogo aro baka yomudisi mimumu baka yomudosi mimumi ni ngolero arko ba amado wasina la de chakidi ligogo agberi afani ade yima dria yours ka adria zima kalaria ba sukini amutibano mbe equal opportunities commission sukini ba Uganda makala marro le razeni ba idri tuni furale ruki ba de kilo eziga metedia acheni mudri anzi ya turu alude echeke na azimo obari ermu bazi kala zi adini azimo obari mu ba etunu dere adini ba leta de eyo de oto eyo de ngazo oto zu kilili le gamete makoba maza ba marde Uganda mu obari yamvu ya ba amvu ya bari ni chozo ro di suzukili le ba me do bang ya ze nga se ne fe ba amvu de ne ba ni chozo ro di suzu nga zi fe ba worni le ba me do bang ya ze ma fe mari ba echibaru tu alu amutia de yo ti yo ke bo odu asimi nyaka sanyaka ne drate odu asimi inzaro ye yo azeni chi ba kini ikami nyaka sanyaka ka drate kan kusika tsote kan kutuka vete gamete mo femi yibo titari ke bo azina fama ne zodike leta afadike ba ma oje ya faze odinro e ko lezo admilu onga de ozi yiko olozi biruku leta ola dani ba mo turi me fo afazero afodike woro ba wesina la feke hangu echozo factory ke bazo rate afadike gamete ngazini ko mediane ne anzike echa zikoko anjaze amavudi ale ke borbodo onzo yini mudu le kursi ate pikpik maaje ambamba pikpik amarde erni fizu Uganda le talu sunu millionire te pikpik echa de pikpik mi mujas million na su azede ne ba fe mariru marindri mi ofe erisende mi ruer duoro anjemete ya bongo dadi mi choro dis pikko nzori ako yika gabo yim pikpik fe dani silingi millionire si mi sende do feli ta ovutia mi nga sende do feli ala se el futuro susu yini nersi eyori kinga orodriji afaza afama jeni tuzo marde angere musoro ambamba baka di ogu tribo eringa fe musoro memvile musoro bana berle pasende jini madri kalina ko leta made dozu tauchazu mudridia ba kidichi agberi musoro ni adri ambamba eyo azevene ba ni dituzo marde atutun ba biasara dike ba marde ke gamete du yitrotoko ichata sana kamu na marde agape KKTP ba diktabane orodi fe koria ba do deke te yere mine 7% de febe yere ni ana so der pin ba fe billion turi ba zikana de akeni yaro de ba fe ni sende anja madaru de ma joki buzi okume bi bobi ba ndundu ni dichi be kone ba de maza ko ba bi madiko ike fibo chita se roko no ba ko anda za kuma billion turu na dito sende azo waro angere bani chosta ba business ar maza ko zo trotorari ike fibo yimu yor maza ko ba zikive na mavudi ochokwa ba ziki imvuanzele okwa wizurule ba ndondu kanisa dile ba dikidichi otite evu chingazo mvuanzo madri bizu otite yedi chingazo awizi madri bizu otite avenichi ngazo ba kanisa dile mazakozo gamete kadicho sende ayo bada kanalera gamete choba kanisa dile mazako kogon elusi amari arkive ni nyaka senda chako elusi ni azinga tutro du ala seriseli nya torna yeke fe bo elusi moya embalo no madri elfo toro na ile yode yochi ale arere sende yini mu fe million toro ala le elusi ki mutana mbane elusi ko fe muke ata bas katato mu bwa holo mafazinje village yadan elusi ngana mi fe yangon elusi mo ko ki gamete woro do elusi site elusi amarde ba mafu elusi Uganda village elf kaliazir ni irdiki dichi yike fe bo yile mu yo elusi de mazako amvu yazo tuzu na diorsi afazi kinda bombe district farmer institute paridi amemu amvu ba yango neroni minda mu tractor pidu afado drake woro district amadikate yike fibo yile mu yode mazako amado wesina ala de angogogo eka elf million alo turu azir bani ya ko dike yode ko woro yokir ko agberi gameteni oti kili kursi ye bade otita yirdo ya yika efebo yinga na ekeni badri amaisu edunyaza madri ewakokoro sende Uganda ere ave badaka te bavini di mari Uganda do de tsada ni billion trillion toro alukalito eka wabala Uganda arsi bala no madia sarsi mari million na mari mini nduni ni ko larke derbaka te yodo mate kati bata azakomesu gamete amarka azakoma ferto fe ba amvedri leta de ni ba Uganda adima isuki orodi embaba meyo onita mariar mo drate yike fibo yile mbaba ko fetrotro embape na mbape de rimba bunduchi esele chose mbape english de peke kan ku agarwa timba prepede na mbape bengon le mbaba ma de ki mesuko ya trotro yinga mu na ekeni embaba sukulu anze adu manya kenya sukulu mbaba majo kiba sira anyo de becho ni ku typical driko ye 11 onite dozo class alo achazo pere oku ambo university suzu bange su dane ye bade otita ye drumalia ye ka gabon yenge yo suru aze Burkina Faso pene ya de ye bade ofeki mari di ro du anga guru ni ga mete buzu ngware andia ye ni ga se yo Uganda le ke de o mi odi askoni Museveni ebe azingeli kalisu ateli taudi akatato Museveni vote berati Museveni ngadi yo azo ojako yile divini bile nduliza fe ba madu marani ro ba ni
8 minutes to the top of the hour. We can conclude so that we pick a few calls from our
yile divini bile nduliza fe ba chandi fe ba aguni azio peta de re amutiba no electoral commission ni adre askar maziko adre RDC maziko leba akubara ma ngaki mazi ba ka min chande fe ko le mini yo adare tiri sira mi driyo modu kwa ma gwarole amangamo yo azide maza kwani ba yo kini e kam 7 ni peko adini ngarchi adini adiri doni ba askar dike askar Uganda de police ki police Uganda de bo fesen de Uganda de si ba de adike ba zo ma fazi akueru mayo in lerlen ko ayota kichi nazo ba de mangaki.
Let's pick some callers. Okay.
What for? Yes,
good evening.
Yes, good evening. Whom are we talking to?
You are talking to me as city president in Concord District, Sarasam County.
Yes, Godfrey, talk to us.
I want to congratulate the candidate of FDC.
Okay.
He talked of something concerning about the reduction of poverty. I think it right. He talked of teachers. I think it right. Now my question to him is, things like the history of Uganda way back in 1990s up to now, the issue of corruption has grown of recently. It has gone very high. To fight corruption this time, it has gone very high. And what mechanism is he going to do as far as the East corruption is reduced in Uganda? 1. 2, he talked of, because as I'm speaking now, I'm one of the disabled boys. He talked of those things training where disabled boys, people can get, so that they can get a good welfare. If I can remember in 2022, the 30th December when today was organized in Kororo, Museveni mentioned and told me that only the first several guys to be trained in the Chankwai. Up to now, we are still waiting the issue. Thirdly, in Uganda, now this is time people are voting what? They are voting with party, they are voting with personality, they are voting with party, minus the key. It is supposed to be the key is used for switching the path. Thank you.
Thank you, Godfrey. That is from Koboko. Through the SMS line, this one says, I really enjoy the speech of the FDC presidential candidate. I agreed with him. Uganda is not okay in terms of corruption, economy, tribalism. Imagine for only motorcycle number plate, you are paying 2 million and 70,000 now for what? Okay. Then that is from Owen, from Amadi Okolo. And this one says, please, your manifesto is clear by changing people's life from a poverty level. This is Chandiga Robert. And then this one says, good evening, presenter. I'm a Gertrude from a Windry. May I know whether this candidate is a West Nile? Of course, he declared that openly earlier on. And she says, if so, I do not see our leaders currently impacting on the community. So what is your plan? I think he responded to that partly, but he will. Then Jacob from Mario Kolo says, Ugandans have lost trust in elections because it's the president who appoints the chairman electoral commission. Now, if you are elected, will you appoint or we elect the electoral commission's chairperson? And then this one says, I'm Gumas Stephen from Luluwiri. I like this talk show. My concern is there was a difference between Nandala Mafabi. Okay, there is a difference between Nandala Mafabi and the corrupt ministers we have. But what he's, okay, I think he's asking about the FDC, internal issues in there, and what you would do to ensure those fractions get back together in there. Time is running so fast, but let's first comment on this.
Thank you very much. For the disabled issues, it's the under 5.3, my brother Godfrey. It will get there to talk about increased teachers who are training people in special needs, incentive for companies employing PWs, establishing innovation fund for PWs, enforcing building standards to the infrastructure is convenient for PWs, set up cost centers for handwork where PWs in wheelchairs can work and in comfort. We have a full thing to deal with that. Okay. And I can tell you when you read the manifesto, it's very clear. But when I was growing, I saw it even in Mbale, it was working, but most of those have been not closed, okay, which is unfair to this country because they knew in the world there are always disabled people. But also corruption. President Museveni recently said he's also going to fight corruption, but 40 years, where has he been? But to confirm that he can't fight, there's a minister called Rugorobi who stole iron sheets and we got on his building. Recently they removed him, that he had no case to answer. Yet this was a real minister who was caught red-handed. So if you can get a red-handed person and you say he has not stolen, what about those you have not seen but they have stolen? So this one now needs a person who is going to tackle corruption without fear or favor. Wowen, thank you so much. West Nile, yes, we are going to fight the issues of West Nile must come up. When I was in school, West Nile boys and girls were the most proud people. Right now, we had guys like King, who was a doctor. We had people like, he was an engineer. We had statisticians, in our statistics, we're 19. Out of the 19, I think 4 of them were from West Nile, but they were very proud people because they had cotton money, they had tobacco money, and life was good. Now they don't have this, people have become beggars. We want to bring back people of West Nile to be proud because this country is theirs. Chairman, you see, we have to change systems. We want to reduce powers. If you read our manifesto, it's very clear. We are going to reduce powers if I get the powers of the president. Now, in Kenya, to appoint a chairman of electoral commission, he must go through a process of vetting. The public must vet. So they get people who are vetted and whatever. And this is what should be happening here. But because of this one, he's appointed by one person. But it doesn't matter. He will be there. But I want to tell you that President Amin said that if you are not aware, the referee is biased, you must score a goal which even a blind person must see. So you score and cut the net. So now what I want to ask you people, don't fear to go and vote, so that all polling stations that are only reading in Nandala, and when they want to steal, they will not have an opportunity to steal because everything would have been dealt with. What's the difference with, of course, corruption have dealt with, but internal, you see, in every home, even a home, there are internal issues, but how you manage them is the best thing. For us, we believe we have tried to manage those who never, in FDC, there are people who don't want to be below others, those who have left. Of course, some of them went and formed a party, unfortunately, have not taken off. But that doesn't matter. We are going to continue. This party does not belong to Nandala, does not belong to Swale, does not belong to Mahezem. It belongs to members. So we want to show we're just small units. It also happens in Nandala. Right now is the Secretary General. But after 2028 will be no more because ours is 2 terms. I'm sure my brother Nguyo by then will be a member of parliament, will take over. I'm sure my son here, Onzima, who will be one of the people who will be taking over leadership. Sorry. Otherwise, some of us, we need to give space to others. Now, we have children of West Nile who have been neglected for a long time. We have a special program for them, and I can tell you the Constitution of Uganda is very clear. It talks about equal development, but also it says that where a place is less developed, you put more emphasis in that area. West Nile has gone down. There's a master plan how to deal with the North and West Nile specifically, and I want you to read the manifesto how to handle that, so that the West Nile comes back on board. That applies even to special interests, even applying to street children who are dropping out of school. We must take them back to school to get basically, even those younger mothers who have produced, child mothers who have produced, I am going to tell you, I'm going to take a special action on that, so that those children can go and get a skill, so that they can live a life, and we integrate them in our community. You see, it pains me so much, even you people of West Nile are seeing it. Right now they passed a budget in a loan, they borrowed money to extend power to Sudan, electricity to Sudan. People of West Nile should be complaining, how do you take power to West Sudan when other villages around, even here, West Nile, don't have what? Don't have power. Must have power in our country. Why should we do roads in DRC when we don't have roads in what? In Uganda. You need a president who loves you, who will really be there for you and take care of you. I come here with that because we must develop our country first. Uganda by now would be a first world, but because of the 40 years we have gone back. And you know the reason is that they have just put a handkerchief on our eyes, they have blindfolded us, which must really end. Okay. And I'm praying all of you here support me in this cause, and I can tell you of the 8 candidates who have stood, I'm the one who knows your problem better, who has an idea in the economy, who has an idea how poverty is bad, who has an idea how to develop infrastructure, because I've advised so many governments that have come out, who has an idea to bring back people to their rails, to have a good life, so that there's income, and that's why we're saying they will have money in their pockets. We need a proud Ugandan. We don't want to stop beggars, and that's why we're in this election. Okay. If these 25 years have been around as a member of parliament, yes, it doesn't matter. You radio person, it is for peace. Isn't it for peace?
But we have no program. We've tried our best to accommodate, but let's conclude.
Yes, we're about to conclude. Of course, we are here. And you know, by the way, we were supposed to have a presidential debate on Sunday, but I'm told that has been cancelled. That shows that we are going to explain to the people of Uganda, when we have some of those candidates, to explain what have you done. So we come with solutions, and I'm begging you, my mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, that I come here with solutions with my team. And that's why I'm begging you that you just vote a key and lend us a key for 5 years. Okay. And that's why we have all these candidates of ours, the Muslims, the Anguyas, I don't know if he's Onzima, the Onzigonzili, everybody, the masses here, caps, to be voted, and we just lend them so that West Nile comes back, and so that these will be your voices to talk about West Nile. But I come here also as a Arua boy. I have very many interests in Arua, and I will be sure that I'm there at the center of it.
Thank you.
So just one more comment. On Sunday, we still have to go to Zombo with the museum. We had cancelled it because there will be a presidential debate, so we shall go on Sunday to Zombo, maybe Pakwachi, then we'll head out of West Nile. But we want to ask you people of West Nile, that we have talked to you, just prepare this message, become our campaign managers, our people to move our message across, because our message we have has challenges and solutions. Everybody has agreed our manifesto is the one which is practical and which will be used better to develop this country. Okay. We need a developed country, we need a united country, we need a reconciled country, we need equity in this country, so that we have people from North can go to West and be treated as brothers and sisters. Go to East treated brothers, not to have segregation in our country.
Next time I think we need to book more than 2 hours.
Yeah, right. And the bishop coming and the bishop is where we're here. I'm sure he will not kill you.
Thank you.
So I can ask my brother Swade.
Honorable Liliana, thank you for escorting the candidate. Onjima, thank you very much for escorting the president. He's my personal friend. We've shared a number of places together. And Mr. Nguyo, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. And Honorable Mzaidi Kemis, tomorrow you have a program, right?
Yes.
Yes, as we conclude, please, briefly about it.
Thank you very much. Ma suru amari pidi ajiwaji miduli dia drusi andro amavali aliavavo drusi amanga Arua primara mama dudo zo Kenya wadia Ivy East Ivy West Pangisa Tanganyika aji amanjo boradini uputisi amangodo population o amanga head office Kenya amaifuda mam president ni du awindire dia pa awindire pie amanga ifuri nya rodia amaita simasia ama follow bida market ya amanga where former mobs was ama fiero primary amane amontu borarine afa piri du shadramde anjimadi corridor ki anjimadi tajamini yarki anjimadi town yadi ma imidre du shemu yarizo amatie ma president du ama muke amana amontu borarine ani ramadi adre the Pacis ma even mindiro ati amabi ongoni arata endara and badre Arua city ma imidu so east and west and then Pangisa Mvara Windiri Oyoze Wichili boys Garamba boys Gafla boys Corridor boys round town
the girls will say you are leaving them out
Arua boys are boys and
Ombazia dia ma imi angazo Mvara Cathedral Emmanuel pere pario yote mina marizora ma imi dusi support mini fema diare ememwazia fe dusi idala ma president ni ama mangu kwachi ama mangu kwa tutu warina awadifo andreke ama dusi sazi dere officier amadi furi amazetu passe amado modero primary.
Okay, thank you very much Wadifo Ambo. Dear listener, that brings us to the end of this particular talk show hosting the FDC presidential candidate. That is
just one small comment.
Please, our time is up and I've done whatever I can do to have us on the board. Taylor Robert is my name. Continue listening to Radio Pacis.
I wanted to ask you something.
I'm sorry now I couldn't.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you.